how could you ask me to make a meal? That is so beneath me.
So Elena, you were a very successful actor. In America, you had your own place, you were doing the acting, you were making money, you were becoming very successful in your own right. What was it about Grant and what he was doing that made you think, actually, I'm just going to put that aside and go on this journey?
I was an actress in LA, like you said. I had bought my own house, my own cars. I never let a man even pay for a meal because I didn't want to owe anyone anything. I was very independent. Oh, like they look at us and say, I want that. It didn't happen overnight for us. I wasn't always very supportive of him and us. So we had this friend over. I didn't even want to make him a meal. Later, when the friend left, I was like, how could you ask me to make a meal? That is so beneath me. That is so, like you think I'm just some woman who's going to serve you? I was very, like plagued by this idea. It really bothered me. And then he was like, yeah, like, why not? And I thought about it, and I thought, where did that come from? Like, I'm from the South in America. The South, we have manners. We're known for taking care of people, darling, so I thought, and I'm Italian, and Italians are very generous and we love to eat. So I'm like, what was my problem? What are really my ideas, and what did I get from other people thinking that I have to be this certain way? That was the first time I broke that down. So to answer your question, in 2008, the economy collapsed. I was sitting on the sofa with Grant, and I said, we were watching the Lehman's collapse, and I said, what's going to happen to us? And he said, we're going to die. I don't die. Like, does this look like death to you? Like no. And that's when I ordered him down he had an office at the end of the hallway. I said, you go into your office and you do not come out until you figure this out. You promised me when I got with you that my life would be better, and now you're telling me I'm gonna die? I was furious. So 3 hours later, and the whole time he's in the office, I'm thinking, should I offer him some water? I'm like, nope, be tough, But 3 hours later, he came out and he put the book, his first manuscript, in my hand, and he said, it's a book, it won't make us rich, but I know what I have to do, and I will never make you afraid again. And I said, we have a chance here to actually go and create something. I had this empire idea. I was like, I think that's one of the roles in our relationship. I'm more of the visionary and he's more of the hammer. We actually need each other. I didn't even realize how much so at this time. But in 2008, economic collapse, I'm pregnant. I decided right then and there that no matter how many women were gonna come after me and tell me I was a sellout for quitting my career and standing behind a man, that was a risk that I was willing to take because I know who I am and I know how powerful I am. And if he was ever going to cheat on me with some younger woman in the future, if he was all the things that came to me, if now I've given up my career and I have nothing, and I went through every horrible scenario you could go through, I went, you know what? I am me. I have always landed on my feet. I have always been tough. I've always been powerful. I've always been strong. I am extraordinary. I know that in my gut. So if something bad were to happen, nothing bad can happen to me because I'm me. And so that's when I said, I don't care. I don't care. I'm giving it up. I'm supporting him, and I'm putting every single asset I have behind him and behind us to create this empire, so we never have to depend on any person to say, yes, you are good enough to work as an actress. And yes, Grant, you are good enough to work in the car industry. That's when he wrote that book, and he decided he was going to vertical and not horizontal. He was only reaching one industry. And so that's when he opened it up, and now all we have to answer to is you, our people. We did it, we created it. Not one woman, by the way, has ever come to chop my head off and parade it around the streets with on a pike. No one's ever called me a sellout, so it was the best decision I've ever done, which was to create our own empire and to give the message that we wanted to ultimately do. So, wow, thank you.
So, Elena, you guys are the epitome of a power couple. I mean, if you're going to think of anyone that's a power couple, this is it. Do you and Grant sit down and talk about goals? How do you decide where you're taking your family next?
Every Sunday we meet, we talk about goals. We're very goal-driven. We do something that I wrote in the book, which I think a lot of people don't do, which is to anyone that's in a relationship, come up with a concept of who you are as a couple. Like most people just do their own goals. I have my own goals too, but in this middle column we have our couple's goals and what we want to do and what we want to accomplish and who we represent together and apart from each other. So yes, we talk about it a lot. And
wow. Yesterday I was sitting behind you and I was amazed at you watched every word Grant said. You took 3 pages of notes. 4 pages of notes, and you didn't miss a thing. And we went to the break at lunch, and Elena had her notes out at lunch, and she said, okay, I really like this bit you said. I think the bit you said in Mexico about this bit was really good, and that should go in here. And the attention to detail was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. I've been at talks with key speakers and their partners either not there or in the back of the room on Snapchat. Are you still learning? Are you still enjoying watching Grant do what he does?
yeah, and I say this about couples all the time. When you do have your couples goals, you should become each other's biggest fan. I can see things in Grant that other people can't. I can say things about Grant that he can't say about himself, or he can, but it's him saying it, just vice versa as well. So we are each other's biggest fan, and I do take notes, and because I am his biggest fan, I am mesmerized by his thinking and his the way that he does things, and every single time I hear him speak, I learn something new. It is incredible. He's incredible.
Amazing. So let me be completely honest with you. I've had, and this will surprise you guys, I've had 3 girlfriends leave me. Yeah, crazy. Because I work too much. Okay, they say you work too much, the hours are crazy, the stress is always high in the household. What advice would you give to men or women like me who are obsessed with being successful, pushing their business to the next level, working hard, working long hours, and their girlfriend or their partner or their wife or the fiance saying to them, come home early, don't work, turn the phone off, don't take that call. What advice would you give to me and the people in a very similar situation?
Well, that clearly tells to me that you guys haven't had discussions about your future potential. You haven't sold her on the vision of where you want to go and that she's in the picture. And why? What is the why? What drives you to this? What is your purpose? Do you want to help people, your product, your vision, your this? And then once we get this and that, whatever your vision is. Yeah. And then once you sell her in on that, then you have to figure out and explain that, there is the sacrifice phase. You're in sacrifice phase. Grant and I were in sacrifice phase for 7 years, but it was pre-social media, so you didn't see it. Like after the 2008, we barely hung on. We were under a $60 million lawsuit from some friends that actually we had to confront were literally conning us from day one. Devastating blow after blow after blow. The banks wanted their money back from the real estate, saying, oh, we hadn't missed one payment. And the banks were saying, now we're going to recall all your loans because your net worth had dropped, just like everyone's in the entire country. So we had that battle, and that's stressful on a relationship. Definitely. So there's sacrifice phases. You know what? We did not party. We did not go out to dinner. Our friends called us lame fuddy-duddies, whatever you can think, they called us that. Yep. But Grant and I understood we were in sacrifice phase. We were in hustle, work. We had a vision. We did not think, we wanted to fly private and go global has been a 10-year vision of mine, something I have been working for. Did I ever think it would actually come to fruition? Not really. I sure hope so. But every sacrifice I made was for our future that we are living today.
Wow. Okay, so let's put ourselves in someone's position. I'm sure someone got up today and their partner said to them, I can't believe you're going to a business conference on Saturday morning. You're not giving me enough time. You're not giving the kids enough time. What if you're in that relationship where you haven't got a supportive partner and you're in that right now? How can you turn that around?
Well, you've got to have the conversations. To promote my book, Build an Empire, I wrote this book for you. I wrote this book for entrepreneurs that are as ferocious as you should be, that don't have a partner that understands you. I wrote this book for women like me who live with animals and beasts, and how to survive that, and not only survive it, get ahead so that you understand that you are a team. The family is a team. My kids today wanted to be someplace else, but they understand that I wanted them here, so they showed up for me. They understand that is their role, being a Cardone member. When Grant or I go out of town, the kids understand they have a job. Their job is to be home, taking care of the home, guarding the home, and being happy and healthy with no problems, so our attention is not worried on them.